Students, if you have a bank account, you may have been issued what's called a debit card. And it's a small piece of plastic about the length between if you stretch your thumb out to your index finger, has a bunch of numbers on it and your name. It allows you to purchase things. Again, this is called a debit card with a D. But you can also acquire another product to purchase things called a credit card with a C. Credit card. It looks the same, like the piece of plastic with the numbers and your name, and sometimes there's like a picture of the bank that you're getting it from. So a lot of people get them confused. Debit card, credit card, what's the difference? A debit card is linked directly to your bank account. So if you have money in your bank account and you swipe or use a chip and pin to purchase something, say at the grocery store, you'll put in your card and it'll deduct from your bank statement immediately. So if you have money in your bank account, it works. If you don't have money in your bank account, it doesn't work. Right? It's like that's pretty straightforward and also a good way to live life. If you don't have the money to buy something, probably just wait and save a little bit until you can. The credit card's a little bit different. In a credit card, it doesn't directly link to your bank account. It just accumulates everything you're buying over time. And then at the end of the month, you get a bill. And they're like, please pay us back. And if you're like, I can't, I don't have enough money, then they say, okay, we'll charge you 20% interest, which is a really high interest rate. So credit cards can be useful if you know you're going to get paid at the end of the month, but you need to purchase something right away. Like, they're good for emergencies like that. But you don't want to use a credit card as like a fantasy piece of plastic that can always buy things that you want, because you're always going to have to pay for it. Credit cards just take a little longer. They reach you, the bill reaches you at the end of the month. Now, how is your statement calculated? Like when you get that piece of paper or an electronic statement on your phone or computer, you open it up and it says, here's what your balance is. And you're like, I don't remember spending that much. How did I spend that much? Well, in this lesson, we're going to talk about how that number is calculated. So if we come down here to the board, we have this little reminder that the debit card deducts from your bank account. And the credit card, these purchases just add to a balance that you owe at the end of the month. So how is this balance created? Well, you take what you owed last month, if you couldn't pay it all off, and then the finance charge is the interest that they're charging you for letting you effectively borrow this money. And then they add in the new purchases here. Then they start subtracting things. They subtract how much you paid them. And they subtract any credits that they may owe you. Here's another side benefit of credit cards, about thinking about credits. If your credit card ever gets stolen and someone goes on a spending stampede and puts thousands of dollars onto your credit card, call up your credit card company immediately and be like, my card got stolen and it looks like they're using it. This is called fraud protection. Because somebody has stolen your financial instrument and spent against your will, that's called fraud. Now, this fraud prevention allows you to sleep well at night because you're not responsible for any of those charges. So if somebody steals your credit card and spends $200 at an electronics store, you'll be credited back that $200. You won't owe that $200 because somebody stole it from you. Now, I've had people ask me this in the past. Can I just spend the $200 at the electronics store and then call the bank and say that somebody stole it? No. Because if you do that, you're the one committing fraud, and then you can go to jail. And if there's one thing I want you to get out of this whole course of business math, no, over here, business math, is that I don't want you to go to jail for financial fraud. So please don't do that. But credit cards are really helpful because back down here, you will get credited in case somebody commits fraud by stealing your card. So let's go through this. Let's say that our previous balance was 150. Excuse me. Put this in parentheses. I'll just write it. So it's 150. And then your finance charge was $2.50. All right, so they're charging you $2.50 because you didn't pay off this $150. New purchases, you spent an additional $100 during that time period to buy groceries, buy gas, pay your electric bill. Your payments, you were able to deduct some things, some payments. All right, you did put $50 down to pay off some of this debt that you now owe. And then credits, someone did steal your card. And they put $20, they bought a gift card at a gas station. All right, so $20. And you called them and told them about that, and they were able to resolve the dispute. They said, okay, we believe you. You haven't called us very many times in the past. We'll cancel your card and mail you a new one. See, that's another cool thing. If someone steals your card, a credit card, they'll just cancel the number, make you a new one, and mail it to your address. So what is your new balance going to be? Well, we have 150 and 100. It's 250. 252.50 is all of these together. So 252.50. And we're going to subtract 50 and 20 together, which is 70. So this is going to be our new balance. This is going to be 182.50. Okay, so our new balance here is 182.50. Probably saying to yourself, well, that's not great, Mr. Rogers. I started off with a previous balance of 150, and it grew. Ugh. What does that mean? Well, if you analyze this statement, you can figure out why. You owed 150, yet you still spent another 100 of money you didn't have. You were only able to pay off 50, and then you were credited for 20 that was fraudulent. So yeah, 70 in cumulative negative amounts will not offset the $100 in additional purchases that you made. That's why your balance grew. So the biggest takeaway from this lesson is, one, don't commit financial fraud because I don't want to see you in jail. But two, if you have a credit card, make sure you have the money, or you'll very shortly have the money to pay it off, because finance charges can get very big over time because they compound. It's exponential growth. And this time, it's exponential growth you don't want. Your debt, the amount you owe, will exponentially grow because this finance charge will add to this, and then you'll get an increase in finance charge the next period and an increase the next period. So please, if you use a credit card, which is fine to do, you can use credit cards, but you got to be able to pay them off. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.